And God can heal you from that father wound. I had a great father growing up, a fantastic father, but he wasn't perfect. And Satan can try to get me to focus on the few minor things in his life that he might have still been working through. But I have a great father on earth, but I have a great father in heaven. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. My father owned a company when I was growing up, and during the summers I worked for his company. And one summer it was the first day of the summer, so I came in and there was a new foreman there, and he didn't know who I was. And we were sitting in this construction trailer around lunchtime. We all had our little sandwiches out, and my dad drove up, and the new foreman, looked out the window and saw my dad, and he said, "Well, here comes Mr. Big." And I said, "Who's Mr. Big?" And he said, "Oh, JP. My dad's initials JPM. And so he said, "Oh, JP. He said, he thinks he's in charge, but actually I run things around here." And about that time, my dad stuck his head in the door, and he said hi to everybody. And then he looked at me, and he said, "Hey, son, do you want to go to lunch?" Have you ever seen color drain from a person's face? And I said, "Yes, Dad. I'd love to go to lunch." He said, "All right, I'll meet you at the car." And he headed back to the car, and I got up, and I went over to the door. Now, I was a little smart-alecky as a teenager. But I turned to this new foreman, and I said, "I don't call him Mr. Big. I call him Dad. And by the way, everything you see around here, he owns. And you may think you run things, but he's the one really in charge." Let me tell you what the Lord's Prayer reminds me of. Everything you see around here, my daddy owns it. And you may think that someone else is in charge, but he's really running things. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name.